Hey everybody, what's going on? John is here and thank you for viewing this video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about knowing your athletes. And this topic actually comes from Gymnazo, which I've been doing training with and just learning a plethora of knowledge and information. It's been such a blast. And I really enjoyed talking about this topic with all of you because one of the things I realized as a coach and trainer over the last 5, almost 6 years is that you're always learning things about others, and through that you're learning a lot more about yourself. And so I had the honor of working with 2 individuals and continuing to work with them, and we're going to say for the purposes of this video, one is J and the other one is D. And so starting out talking about J, Jay himself, he works in the information technology field. And one of the things people don't know is that even if you work in information technology, you have a job out in the field where you're moving things, installing things, it's still very easy to fall into the sedentary trap. You know, there's meeting times, there's a lot of seating, you're sitting down, typing things, you're logging things. So when we got together and we did our eval and we got into the sessions, what I noticed is his overhead range of motion was really affected. You know, he didn't do a lot of overhead motion. A lot of things were directly in front of him, so there was a lot of shortening, tightening of the chest, often in a protracted position. And if he did any rotation, it was very minimal. It was a few reps of it. And I'm saying a few reps probably every couple of days. And lastly, because of a lot of sitting, his hip extension and extension through his spine really needed a lot of improvement. So we put together an effective plan and strategy. We got movement and motion back into his body. We took things from a localized pattern to a global pattern pretty quickly because despite it all, he still had good movement overall, good balance. He could hold himself up. We even got in a single leg work, and we were able to get him on a rebound and eventually restored to the point now where he's able to just move better through his gait and he's able to do the things that he wants to do. Now, talking about D in particular, she happens to be a secretary. And with secretaries, they spend a lot of time walking, but guess what else? They spend a lot of time typing, writing, sitting. So I started to notice those same patterns with D, you know, being protracted, also with her posterior chain being elongated and not really working on that power and contraction and control. So she had goals with really working on building up her posterior chain and putting on healthy muscle mass. And it was a great opportunity doing that because what was critical for me was to make sure that we improved her healthy muscle mass, but at the same time not sacrifice movement in the process. And what we ultimately saw was we saw an improvement in her ability with her body weight and with external weight and in terms of movement. And it was such a great honor working with these 2 individuals because it's something I realized a lot of our working class is going through that. You know, it's a lot of seated positions, it's a lot of staticness. And so as a coach, it's super important that we have an effective plan that can help reverse all of those things, that can actually help someone stay young in theory. So knowing your athletes is absolutely critical. And once again, the more you know about them, the more you're going to understand about yourself and ultimately what the body needs. You have a good one.